As the only daughter of a casino magnate, I have grown up surrounded by danger and betrayal. To keep me safe, my father has raised 9 bodyguards from a young age. After I come of age, he asked me to choose one of them as my fiancé. Everyone expects me to pick Harry Hunt, the man I have secretly loved for years. But I do not. Not after what happened in my previous life. On the day of our engagement, I was kidnapped, and my hands were pierced with poison-tipped spikes. Tortured and desperate, I called Harry for help. His response still haunts me today. Victoria, stop with these games. Your location shows you're still in the hotel suite, trying to pull these pity stunts just to keep me to yourself? Pathetic. With another woman laughing in the background, I closed my eyes and gave up. As the iron cage sank beneath the waves and the sea filled my lungs, my life ended. Then, I open my eyes and find myself back on the day my father asked me to make a choice. This time, Harry's name is the first I cross off the list. But why is he crying and begging me to marry him at my engagement banquet with Jeffrey Reed? When I saw the familiar list of names, I suddenly came to my senses. The memory of drowning still clung to me when I heard Dad's voice. Victoria, today you'll choose one of these 9 men to be your fiancé. That was when it hit me that I had been given a second chance at life. Looking at the list, I crossed out Harry Hunt's name without hesitation. Dad stared at me in shock. Are you sure? You've been following Harry around since you were a child. Why strike his name off? Hold up. I'll have them prepare a new list. No, Dad, I cut him off, shaking my head firmly. It wasn't a mistake. I'm not choosing Harry, I'm choosing Jeffrey. In my mind, I could still see Jeffrey Reed's devastated expression after my death, his voice hoarse from screaming my name. Seeing how determined I was, Dad said nothing more and nodded in agreement. He told me to keep it hush for now. In 3 days, he would make the announcement himself at my engagement party. I left Dad's study room and walked into the villa's grand hall, where I came face to face with Harry. At his side was Ember Burke. The moment she saw me, she shrank back and hid behind him like I was a monster. Harry pulled her close and whispered, "Don't be afraid, Ember. I won't let anyone hurt you." He turned and glared at me with pure hostility. "Victoria, although Ember's a scholarship student sponsored by your family, that doesn't give you the right to bully her." I froze. This was not how things had played out before. Ember lifted her red, swollen hand onto his arm and said carefully, "Harry, please don't blame Ms. Webb. I was born humble, so washing her clothes by hand isn't a big deal." I blinked in disbelief. I did not ask Ember to wash my clothes. That was when I realized she had been pulling the same act again, pretending to be the victim to gain sympathy. Before I could defend myself, Harry snapped, his voice cracking like a whip. "Victoria, even if you chose me as your fiancé, I would never love a woman as cruel as you." After saying that, he turned to Ember and gently caressed her hand, pity clouding his eyes. "Ember, you're not lowly at all. You're worth more than people with hearts full of malice." He cast me a look of cold disdain. And just like that, the sharp ache returned. In this life, just as in the last, Harry never believed me. Just then, a stranger suddenly lunged at me with a knife. I screamed and stumbled back in terror. Harry reacted instantly. Drawing on years of muscle memory, he sprinted forward and positioned himself in front of me. He kicked the knife out of the attacker's hand before subduing him. Before I could catch my breath, Ember shrieked and collapsed, writhing in pain. Another stranger, wielding a knife, had slashed her leg. Harry hesitated for a split second before abandoning me. He rushed to her side and shielded her protectively. My heart grew colder with each passing moment as I watched the scene unfold before me. Seeing that no one was guarding me, the other attacker picked up his knife and charged forward. Just as the blade was about to pierce my chest, someone appeared out of nowhere and kicked the man to the ground.